These people are mad because you gatekeep your life. Everybody doesn't get access to you. There are some people, they are very jealous and envious of the fact that you gatekeep your life, that everybody doesn't have easy access to you. When you get very particular in who you choose to be around and who you choose to allow around you, there are going to be some people who get upset when they realize they are not involved. They are not allowed to be that close to you. Being the kind of woman who likes to protect herself from unseen enemies, there are going to be people who wish that you will let your guard down. Denying access to people who will try to come into your life and try to disrupt your peace, that is smart, that is wise, and that is your protection. Not allowing men who want to come in and disrupt your peace, want to come in and get you to doubt yourself and feel less confident. Not being friends with women who get very jealous and envious very quickly. Those are ways that you could protect yourself and gatekeep your privacy and gatekeep your peace. Not allowing everybody to have access to you, that also shows people that you take yourself as a very important person, and that makes them upset. See, some people, because they have no standards of their own, they expect for you to operate as if you're a woman with no standards. But it's not like that. Many women who do not give everyone access to them, they've experienced what it feels like to just allow anybody in and then get hurt. Allow anybody in, and now they're dealing with a lot of drama and a lot of negativity. When you start gatekeeping your life, when everybody doesn't get access to you, you are essentially saying that you value yourself so much that you can't afford to let your enemies creep in. And they don't like that. So there are some people, they're mad because they don't get access to your life, no matter how much they try. These are your people. They might not even necessarily like you, but they're so nosy, they just want to keep up with you. Gatekeeping your life, gatekeeping your privacy, not allowing everybody to have access to you, this keeps those nosy, jealous people far away from you. Keeping your comings and your goings, your goals, your dreams, keeping all that stuff to yourself, not telling everybody your next move, not telling everybody your daily routines, that is a way that you can gatekeep your privacy by not giving everybody access to you. People who deserve access to you are those people who respect you. People who are often very jealous, very miserable, very envious, they don't respect you because they feel like you don't deserve what you have in the first place. When you start gatekeeping your life and start denying access to those who don't respect you, that is when your life gets more peaceful. You can tell that people don't respect you by offering their unsolicited advice, by saying what they would do if they were you, even though they're not you, by trashing and putting down the things that you do, by wanting to be so close to you so they can be your biggest hater. Those are the people you need to deny access into your life. So these people are mad because you denied them access into your life. You don't allow them to get close to you. Another way that you can gatekeep your life, gatekeep your privacy, and gatekeep your peace is to not allow people access to you who mess with your emotions. I believe this one is worse than anyone, saying little things about what you have or what you don't have. When people attempt to mess with your emotions, if people can get into your mind, then they can have control over you. When you gatekeep your privacy and gatekeep your emotions, gatekeep your mental, when you deny access to people who want to mess with your emotions, you are doing the best thing you could do to protect your mental health. There are some people, they actually get upset because you protect your mental health from them. Some people don't see themselves as a trigger for other people's anxiety. Some people don't see themselves as a trigger for other people's anger and frustration, and yet they are. When you deny people like this access into your life, when you keep them far away from you and you don't allow them to get access into the important parts of your life, you will start to see your mental health improve. When you don't have to argue with someone every day, because there are a lot of people, especially women, they are in relationships that they should actually be shut down in the beginning. They are dealing with people who they call their friends, but they're not really your friends, they're your biggest haters. Sometimes women, and this brings me to the next point, there is this loneliness epidemic where people allow others to come into their life simply because they're lonely. Now, I say this in all sensitivity, but I still have to say this a little bit firmly. Being lonely, sometimes, you'll be needy for people. You want to have friendships, you want to have relationships. But being overly lonely and feeling like you're desperate for other people's companionship, that is the quickest way to give your enemies access into your life. When it comes to companionship, when it comes to friends, when it comes to the people you allow into your life, you want to do quality over quantity. What I mean by quality people over the amount of people, when you gatekeep your privacy and gatekeep your peace, you don't want a lot of people around you. You can't have a truly peaceful life with a lot of people with a lot of negative emotions and negative opinions around you. I say this to say a woman who gatekeeps her privacy, who denies access to people, who will cause her mental health to suffer, she is looking at the character, she is looking at the personality, she is looking at the way those people carry themselves, and then she decides if she wants them in her life. You don't care about numbers. You don't care about having a big group or a big clique. Even when this comes to family, denying access to your life, not allowing certain family members to be around you or to be closely connected to you, that is wise. There are some family members, because they see you as family, they will automatically use that as an opportunity to mistreat you, to say little things, to do little things that will cause your emotions to be all over the place. So these people are mad because they don't get access to your life. They don't have a front row seat to see what you have going on. A woman who values her peace, who values her mental health, she's not willing to sacrifice her mental in order to give people access to her who don't deserve it. Now, I can hear some people saying like, well, who are you? Why would somebody think about themselves like that? They're acting like they're somebody of importance. You are. Don't let miserable people or people who want to be close to you so they can cause you some kind of mental health issues or some kind of emotional issues or just simply get on your nerves and disrupt your peace. Don't allow people like that to try to trick you into believing that you're conceited or that somehow you are arrogant or somehow you are prideful because you are selective when it comes to who you allow to have access into your life. If more women were selective about who gets access into their life, they wouldn't go through half of the things that they go through as women. So these people are mad because they don't get access into your life. They don't get a front row seat to see what you have going on. Another reason why you should gatekeep your privacy, gatekeep your life, gatekeep all those things that are important to you, because the more you gatekeep, the less people can sabotage you. When people start realizing that you are gatekeeping your life, like you don't really say too much anymore, now you just kind of speak in general terms. You don't really give people too many details of your personal life. Like when you have a conversation with someone, and this is a little bit of a sidebar, but still on point with the message of why everybody doesn't deserve access into your life. When you start learning how to master telling people what they need to know, nothing more, nothing less, or giving the illusion that you're giving them a lot more information than what you actually are, you start knowing how to speak in very general terms. You know how to hold a conversation without giving everybody all of your personal business. This is something that I had to grow into. For a very long time, I was a oversharer. I would tell people all of the personal details of what I have going on within my family. If certain issues arise, I would speak on those things just to have conversation. Not until I matured and realized that, number one, that's a little bit tacky. Number two, every listening ear doesn't really care. And number three, sometimes people will use the very things that you confided in them over to use against you later. When you start gatekeeping your privacy, gatekeeping your life, and not allowing everyone to have access to you, you start realizing that you don't want to give people ammunition to use against you. And you also understand that just because somebody's listening to you speak, that doesn't mean they care about what you're saying. When people are jealous and envious and they want direct access into your life, they will listen to all of your struggles. They will listen to all of your traumas. They will listen to all of the things that you're going through, not because they care, but because they want to use it for entertainment. There's nothing worse than finding out that you gave access into your life to someone who was purely using you as entertainment or for gossip, or just using your life as some kind of coffee table talk when they go home to their significant other. When you start gatekeeping your life, gatekeeping your privacy, and not giving everybody access to you, there are going to be people who are going to look at you like you're weird because you don't really have much to say. When you get quiet and not really tell people too much about yourself, I like that because it gives mystery. But in giving that mystery, it can also piss some people off because now they don't really know anything about you. So these people are mad because they don't get access to your life. You gatekeep the things that are important to you. And this goes for relationships with men too. There can be some men who get very jealous and envious of women, especially if that woman happens to be single and successful, especially if that woman happens to be single and peaceful and unbothered. There will be some men who want to come into your life just for the simple fact of disrupting your peace. There will be some men who want to come into your life for the simple fact that they want to stir up some kind of issues or drama. There are men who get just as jealous and envious of women in the same way that women get jealous of other women. It's very weird, but it happens. I say that to say, when you gatekeep your life and your privacy from men who display jealous, envious characteristics. So let's say, for example, you are dating a man, he's courting you, y'all just getting to know one another. You don't need to tell him what you do for a living. You don't need to tell him about all your childhood struggles. Because the moment you start doing that, they start judging you. Or they start looking for ways they can play on your past traumas to manipulate you into getting the things they want from you. When you are dealing with people who want access into your life so they can use the information you give them to manipulate you, and this is the reason why I don't believe women. You never, not in the beginning, don't tell a man, and this is a little bit of a sidebar but still on point, never tell a man about your traumatic childhood and how your daddy wasn't there and how, this life was like this and I didn't come from anything and all these different things. When you tell the wrong man that kind of stuff, he's going to position himself as your savior. He's going to position himself as somebody who can give you all the things that you never had before. And if that man has a malicious, jealous, weird energy about him, after he's gotten you all soft and happy, he's going to use those things to manipulate you. So you have to be mindful that you're not giving access to people who want to manipulate you and use the things that you tell them against you. So these people are mad because they do not get access into your life. You gatekeep your life, you gatekeep your privacy, you gatekeep the things that are important to you. I want to backtrack on what I was just speaking about not giving people all the information, especially in the beginning. This doesn't just go for relationships with men, this goes for friendships too. Sometimes when you are dealing with women and you might not even know that they have a jealous, envious way about them, when you come in and you automatically start telling them about all the good things about yourself, you might assume that they can handle that because they're smiling at you. But there are some women, because they're so jealous and envious towards other women, they don't know the difference between somebody just sharing details about the good things in their life and somebody bragging. Another reason why you do not want to give access to the wrong people, you want to gatekeep your life, protect your privacy, protect your peace. People who are jealous and envious, sometimes they can't handle hearing the good things happening to you. They assume that every time you speak on something, you're bragging. Every time you talk about something that's good in your life, you're bragging. Only a jealous, envious, miserable person will assume that every time you say something positive about yourself, about your life, that you're being braggadocious, that you're bragging about things. So denying access to people who will hear you, who will see you, and automatically get threatened, those are the people you do not want to be close to. Those are the people who will constantly be trying to dumb you down, constantly trying to bring you down a notch, and constantly trying to get you to be less than who you are as a woman because it's making them uncomfortable. So these people are mad because you do not give them access into your life. Being the kind of woman who has wisdom, has discernment, when you're able to read and understand the patterns of other people, you are not so quick to let everybody in. I don't care how lonely you might feel, how you might want a friend, want a relationship. A woman who uses her brain, who is wise and not desperate for other people, you'd rather wait for the right people to come into your life than to allow your enemies to infiltrate your peace. You'd rather be in complete isolation with your clarity and peace of mind before you allow the wrong people to come in and get you all messed up mentally and emotionally. And there are going to be people who do not like that. So these people are mad because they don't get access to your life. They don't get a front row to see what you have going on. Continue to gatekeep your peace and your privacy. Deny access to those people who do not deserve to be in your life. And make sure that you have enough wisdom and discernment to understand who to let in and who to let stay on the outside. Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, leave the cute little high heel emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.